Immigration-related property sales are at a decade high in South Africa. That's according to Pam Golding Properties. The residential property report says most of those emigrating are from Gauteng. The report says that this contributes to the province's weak housing market. Pam Golding Properties Group CEO Andrew Golding joins me now. Very good morning to you, Andrew. Tell us more about your findings.
Yeah, so I think that we've seen in the last couple of years an increase in reasons for selling being immigration, and recent statistics show that that number has risen to an all-time, a 10-year high, being around 10% of the reasons for selling with sellers at the moment, and particularly from Johannesburg.
What are the reasons you're hearing from Johannesburg? I mean, why is that taking such a dip where Cape Town, in comparison, is still climbing up?
Yeah, so I think Johannesburg is obviously the engine of the residential property market, and so the results are potentially skewed because of that. We're also seeing the trend of semigration away from Johannesburg to other parts of the country continuing. There was certainly a trend specifically to Cape Town over the last number of years, but that trend has now broadened to other parts of the country, in particular to KZN and also to the Eastern Cape and the Boland and Overberg.
So these former holiday areas are becoming pretty solid residential areas. What sort of impact is that having on property prices there?
Yes, so I think what we're seeing is that those areas which were traditionally mainly leisure markets are now becoming primary markets, and the fundamental reason for this is around affordability. So small town South Africa and leisure town South Africa has become a primary destination. I think with technology these days we're also finding that people are able to conduct their businesses from different parts of the country as opposed to having to be in the major centres, and so that's having in fact a positive effect on pricing in those towns, and a positive effect on the towns generally in terms of investment into them.
What will happen if we keep going at this trajectory in Gauteng, for example? So
I think the market is at or near the bottom of the current cycle. We're certainly starting to see some green shoots. I don't think we're going to continue to see the trajectory being downwards. And certainly if there's some positive economic news in the next short while, we do see the market turning positively, and hopefully we'll get going again. The level at which house price growth has slowed down in Johannesburg is already starting to show some signs of improvement, and it's our expectation that in the course of the next 12 months we're going to start to see the Johannesburg market recover again.
And any idea who the buyers are? Are they mainly South Africans, those who are snapping up the deals that are around at the moment?
Yes, I mean, our market is very much a local market, predominantly governed by local buyers. At the moment, foreigners are making up about 3% of our sales in total, and generally speaking, in the overall market, that's way less than 1%. So the foreign impact of sales is really very low.
And proof of that is that we're seeing the highest growth in home loans at the moment.
Yeah, so the home loan market is really encouraging. The banks are certainly competing with each other, and I think it is the one silver light on the horizon is the fact that the banks are competing, and that is giving some impetus to what is clearly a sluggish market in the light of the current economic circumstances.
And just tell me, going back to the sales, I mean, are we seeing, is it mainly primary homes or investment properties that are being chucked?
So it's certainly a primary home market. From an investment perspective, we have seen a slight uptick, but in terms of leisure purchases, it's still very, very low. So the leisure market is certainly taking strain. The investment market is slowly improving, but fundamentally people are moving for primary residence reasons.
Andrew Golding, good to talk to you. Thank you.